'Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty. 'Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
Hello guys, and welcome to my video. So today, I'm basically gonna say my favourite movie from each year, from when I was born, from 1997 to now. Well, 2022, I can't really say 2023 yet because, yeah, it hasn't really been a full year yet. Like, I'm gonna wait to see what will actually be my favourite movie. But if I was predicting, it's hard to say, because we've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we've got Scream 6. I mean, there's so many options that could be my favourite movie, like Into the Spider-Verse 2. It's hard to say for sure which will actually be my favourite movie. I mean, who knows, it might be another underrated movie again, but for now I'm just going to say, hopefully, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but I guess we'll see by the end of the year which will be my favourite movie. Alright, so we're going to start with 1997. Just wait for it to load. Alright, so Hercules. Yeah, definitely a movie I watched a lot as a kid. It was a lot of fun. Had great characters. Had a great villain. Just, you know, great characters. The music was awesome. And happy I got to go up with it. Because obviously I didn't watch it on the year I was born. It was like a few years later, like 2000, 2001, when I was like a toddler. But yeah, I always enjoyed this film. So 1998, Rush Hour. So yeah, this is like a classic I've watched so many times. One of my favourite comedies and one of my favourite buddy cop movies. With the second one being my favourite when it comes to buddy cop movies. Yeah, just Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan's chemistry is just perfect, man. Always love watching them in this movie. Yeah. 1999, The Iron Giant, probably one of the best animated movies of all time. Just a classic. I guess my little cousin is, you know, also getting to grow up with this, which is cool. Just a movie that I guess a lot more kids should, you know, get to grow up with as well. Yeah, it's just a classic, man. Tells a great story about a giant robot and a kid who bond with each other while, you know, people also fear it and the boy tries to protect it. Yeah, it's just a good story. Unbreakable, probably one of the best M. Night Shyamalan movies, if not the best. For me, it's probably the best. Like, nothing tops Unbreakable for me out of all of his movies. Yeah, like second place probably is Split. I don't know what I'd pick third, but yeah, he just has a lot of good, bad, and mid movies. Yeah, it's just his library's pretty strange, but yeah, this is probably my favourite out of his library, and a great story about a superhero and the one who seems like it's on his side, but you know, if you watch the movie, you know how it goes. If you haven't, I recommend it. So yeah, the first Harry Potter movie, like the Philosopher's Stone, or in America, the Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, classic film, man. Actually, we're watching these right now, and probably gonna review them on my review channel. But yeah, a classic. If you haven't watched Harry Potter movies, I recommend them. Just a great franchise I got to grow up with as a kid, and yeah, let's move on. Alright, 2002. SpiderMan, the first film, and man, just all the Spider-Man films we got after this one, from this to No Way Home, just crazy, man. Such a great start. Tobey Maguire just played him perfectly. I couldn't ask for a better Spider-Man, even though we actually could have got a better Spider-Man, but you know, Sony messed him up. But yeah, just Tobey Maguire just played this character so perfectly. Like, to me, he is Spider-Man, and I can't imagine anyone being a better Spider-Man, even though, again, Sony, man. You had a chance to make a better Spider-Man, but you just gave him a bad script. Yeah, I'm obviously talking about Andrew Garfield, because he could have been the best Spider-Man, but instead, for me, it's Tobey, because he had the best script, and he got to play the character the best in live action. Yeah, and just, you know, a classic movie I always rewatch, one of my favourite superhero movies. Kill Bill, Volume 1, probably my favourite Quentin Tarantino movie, such a classic. Just the fight scenes and everything. It's a perfect film, a revenge film, and probably one of my favourite revenge films too. Yeah, it's just a classic, man. I just wish we'd get like a Volume 3, because Volume 2 was kind of a letdown, but they could call it Kill Bride or something. Yeah, like maybe one of the people that she killed wants revenge, like the little girl at the beginning. Like maybe she would want revenge on the bride, and they could do something cool with that. But only time will tell. If we ever got something like that, probably won't happen, because Quentin Tarantino's getting older. So yeah, but only time will tell. Spider-Man 2. For the longest time, it was the best superhero movie of all time. And without this film, I don't even think we'd have the MCU. It's just so good. I mean, you can say the same for the first one, but this is just like a step up for me. Yeah. As time's gone on, I think I like Willem Dafoe's villain way more than Doc Ock, but yeah, it's just the Green Goblin was so good. It's just aged so well, especially when you get to No Way Home and they bring him back and make him even better. But yeah, it's just, Doc Ock, he was such a great villain, man. And I feel like the reason why he was my favourite for so long is because of his character development. Like, he's not just like a villain to be a villain, like he actually has proper character development, especially by the end. And just seeing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man go for like struggles that, us normal people go through, it makes him really relatable. It's just all the things. Testing Spider-Man to his limits. It's just such a good film. And I recommend it if you haven't seen it. Narnia. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. A classic. Yeah. One of a great movie I got to grow up with, because I didn't really like the sequels. It was kind of boring to me. First one was pretty good. It's not brilliant, but it's a good film. And when Walt Disney could actually make good live action films, yeah. Because sometimes I forget it's Walt Disney. This came from Walt Disney, because look at them now. They make trash now. But yeah, it's just such a classic. And I love it. And the cast, yeah. Right, 2006, 300. Man, probably one of the best war films, set in the Spartan times. It's like one of my brother's favourite movies, man. If you just want to see men just go to war and have speeches, tonight we will dine in hell, just stuff like that. It's a perfect movie for you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, The Dark Knight. And I feel like I skipped a movie. Yeah, I think I skipped one. So this is 2008, but I'll get to this. I think it was The Simpsons. So yeah, for 2007 it's The Simpsons anyway. But I just want to click on it first. But yeah, I think it's going to come up from Google Chrome, because the way how I downloaded the image, yeah. But yeah, The Simpsons. Such a great animated movie. It sucks we never got like a sequel. Instead we just got too many seasons of the show that just made the comedy less funny. But yeah, this is a really good film, and to me you could say this is like the last great thing about The Simpsons before it just went downhill. I mean, for a lot of people it went downhill, I don't know, like after the first 3 to 5 seasons, but I mean, I enjoyed it for a long time until I just started to realise it just started to be unfunny and not as good. But this film, man, it's aged so well, and maybe someday I'll play the game as well. But yeah, just a great film, and if you've never checked out this film, then yeah, I recommend it. I'm just close, go back to The Dark Knight. So yeah, The Dark Knight, man. Probably to this day still the best Batman film, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Heath Ledger's Joker, man, it's like one of the best villains in a movie. Yeah, it's just Heath Ledger just went all out, and it kind of sucks how much he actually put into it, because it cost him his death. With how much he put himself into the role, man. Yeah, he gave us such a memorable performance that will last forever, man. I mean, I got a poster on my wall of Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah, it's just such a legend. And when it comes to Christian Bale, he played a great Bruce Wayne. To me, he's not the perfect Batman, and his voice hasn't aged well. Like, and then, where are they? It's just the voice is too much, but yeah, just the way how the movie's shot and everything. It's just, and the suit. The only thing I don't like is probably the Batmobile. That hasn't aged well at all. The way how it looks, yeah, compared to the older ones like the '89 Batman, yeah. But yeah, it's just such a great film. Even like Two-Face, the underrated villain, like he's really good too. And seeing Heath Ledger's Joker and Two-Face clash sometimes. It's just such great entertainment for a movie, man. Yeah. And for the longest time, my favourite movie of all time, until, I guess, 2018, which you probably know which that is. Alright, so 2009. District 9. One hell of a movie, and I was waiting so long to get a sequel, but it never came, sadly. Yeah, such a great film. Probably one of my favourite alien invasion films, even though like they've already invaded, but I guess mankind have already like basically controlled them. But it gets to a point where things kind of get out of hand, and I guess the main character becomes slowly an alien, and just what they do with that premise is just really good. Yeah, if you've never watched this, I definitely recommend it. It just sucks we never got a sequel. 2010, Inception. Such a great film that truly makes you think, especially when you get to the end. Like, just it's hard to know how this movie actually ended. I was actually supposed to do a part 2 review of this, but maybe someday. Yeah, same with not Intent. Sorry, Tenet. I'm talking about Intent. What am I talking about? No, sorry. But yeah, they're two great films that truly make you think. But this probably does it the best. It's just the imagery and everything. It's just perfect. The casting, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ellen Page, just all the actors in this. It's just so good. Yeah. If you've never watched this, I extremely recommend it. Yeah, it's such a good film. Alright, so 2011, The Raid, Redemption. Probably one of the best action movies ever. Like, goddamn, the action goes so hard. Like, oh my god, even that guy who ends up fighting two of the main characters, like, oh my god, that's one of the best fight scenes I've ever made. Up there with Civil War, because that has like probably my favorite fight scene in all of the MCU. Which obviously that's gonna be on the list. Yeah, I'm already saying it now. But yeah, such a great film. Highly recommend it if you love action and just the close quarters combat. It's just so good. Yeah. The Avengers. Like, this was such a huge achievement in movie history, man. The Avengers, man. And another film where it truly made Marvel something special. And just to think that this even exists, like we actually got to this point where superhero movies became this good. Like, goddamn, from flipping Fantastic Four to this. Like, oh my god, because that's just like something that people didn't really care much about. But to me, I liked it as a kid. Guilty pleasure. But then to this, actually getting to see a movie like this, I watched it like 2 or 3 times in the same day, man. Like, this movie was something else, man. And making me like Thor, a character who I didn't really like in, I guess, his original movie, especially Thor 2. But yeah, just every character's at their best in this film. Even Black Widow, like, oh my god, her character development is amazing. Hawkeye, sadly, is probably the one who, it doesn't really work out for him until like Avengers 2, and that's like a weaker movie because the way how he just gets pushed aside to be mind controlled by Loki sucks. And just the characters' chemistry is just pretty good too, even when they're beefing. Yeah, it's just a perfect film. Alright, so 2013, Prisoners. So I watched this like only last year, I think. Yeah, it was last year, so. And I don't know what I'd say was my favourite film in 2013 from back then. Yeah. But Prisoners, after finally watching it, oh my god, this is Hugh Jackman's acting at its best. Like, oh my god, and Jake Gyllenhaal's pretty good in it too, but just flipping hell. Hugh Jackman, he goes all out, trying to find the people who have been kidnapped, like his family members. Like, my god, he goes all out, man. He goes crazy. Yeah, such a good film, man. Highly recommend it, especially for the acting. Like, my god. Yeah, such a good film. And Nightcrawler, another Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Yeah, like, this to me is probably also like, his acting at his best. Like, oh my god. Such a good film, and really creepy. It's just the things he does just to get the perfect shot is just so creepy. Yeah, highly recommend it. Civil War, and I feel like I've missed a film again, so just give me a second. Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. So to think that this film wouldn't exist, oh my god, what is up with all these loading things? I'm just sorry about that. But yeah, this wouldn't even exist if that garbage live action movie didn't come out. Whatever the hell that was called again, Dragon Ball Evolution, trash. But yeah, like basically the person who made Dragon Ball decided to make, 2 movies because of how bad that movie was, and I guess the show, which I wasn't really a big fan of, but has its good moments, I guess. I just hate how it kind of rehashes like basically the 2 movies that we got, but done worse. Yeah, oh my god, I don't know why it keeps doing that. But yeah, this is such a good movie. Probably my favourite movie of this year. It was pretty good. Oh my god, all these things loading. But yeah, just to me, I'd recommend this than watching the anime's first 2 arcs, because, well, I'd recommend the first 2 films like Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, then watching the first 2 arcs of Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, it's just done so well on here, and truly has all the characters at their best. I think apart from Yamcha, but just see my boy Krillin kicking ass, like, yeah man, awesome. Yeah, it's just such a good film. Alright, so 2016. Captain America Civil War. This was the true Avengers 2 to me, not just Avengers 2.5. Like, this was Avengers 2, but also being Captain America's final movie, and just all the characters again at their best. Just a lot of great character development for Captain America and Tony Stark especially. Just seeing them, face each other and stuff is just pretty cool. And I kind of wish we got to see Hulk and Thor fight in this film instead of, in Ragnarok, but still a pretty good film. But yeah, this was amazing. The action at its best. Most people would probably say Winter Soldier, but I feel like the vibe of that film was just so good as a spy film, and definitely has some of the best acting in the whole MCU, and you could say in action movie genre. Yeah. But yeah, this movie was so good, man. Highly recommend it if you somehow haven't watched it. Logan. I still can't believe this movie exists. Like, oh my god. Getting to see an R-rated Wolverine, it was just so good. Like, the Wolverine should have been the first, but this, oh my god, was so good. Even with X-23, oh my god, probably one of the best kid actors I've ever seen in a movie. Like, my god, such a good film. Just seeing the final story be told of Logan, yeah. Such a great character that I grew up with, having such a fitting ending, yeah. Such a good film. Legendary film, one of the best R-rated films. And then my favourite movie of all time, Avengers Infinity War. Like, if I died in this year, I would have died happily, because getting to see this film in cinemas, amazing. My favourite cinema experience, man. It was so good. Like, my god. I mean, I got to watch The Dark Knight in cinemas, and that became my favourite movie experience at that time. But then when this came out 10 years later, my god, amazing. And just Thor, this was the movie where people truly started to love Thor. I mean, I loved him since 2012. I just didn't like his solo movies. To me, they didn't really do his character that well. It's like when he's bouncing off characters, he's just at his best. And seeing him bounce off the Guardians with everything he's been through, like, it's just so good, man. And the character he becomes by the end, yeah, amazing character development. And just for everyone, really, even Gamora with her storyline with her father Thanos, and Thanos, the villain, who actually is the main character of the film. It's just, my god, he's like peak villain in a movie ever. Better than Heath Ledger, I have to say it. Because Heath Ledger for so long was like my favourite movie villain, but I'd say it's like second now after Thanos, because Thanos, man, it just goes so deep with his character. Because to me, Heath Ledger's Joker was like the main character of The Dark Knight. I mean, that's arguable, but just the way how things go for him and how he actually wins, just like Thanos in this movie, like, man, and you're actually rooting for him, crazy, for what they're actually trying to achieve. Like, Joker wants chaos, and Thanos wants half of the life in the universe to be gone to make it a better place. But man, just the way, just how well they do it, and the things like, Thanos has to sacrifice. I guess he has to sacrifice the final thing that he loves to be able to achieve it too. Yeah, just seeing him fight all the Avengers too is just so cool. Yeah. But I don't even know how long this would be my favourite movie of all time, but yeah, I had to buy it. I had to buy it on Blu-ray, yeah. Masterpiece. 2019 Joker. My god. Like, this movie, like, oh my god, it was so good. Like, man, and just people's response to this movie, I mean, we're going into the woke generation at this time. So yeah, that's probably why I got a lot of hate from some people, or should I say, Pacific people. Yeah. But yeah, this movie is just so good. Joaquin Phoenix nearly became better than Heath Ledger, but I know this movie probably is going to get a sequel, and maybe he actually has a chance to be better than Heath Ledger, but man, just the acting of Joaquin Phoenix, man, as the Joker, because he's mainly like setting up the Joker, so you don't really see him as a Joker for like most of the movie. Just his acting performance, just especially by the end, when you see him go through so many emotions in one scene before he makes the final choice to become the Joker. Like, my god, perfect film. I know some people don't like it, but to me it's just amazing. Mwah. 2020, Love and Monsters. It's a good film. There wasn't really a lot of amazing films at this time, and yeah, this was kind of like the worst year of my life. But yeah, this was a good film. Dylan O'Brien, man, yeah, who's really good in this film, and getting to see Michael Walker, yeah, Mel Yondu with that little girl, yeah, that was fun, yeah. And was the main premise to find his girlfriend or something? Yeah, the girl from you know, what's it called again? Iron Fist, yeah. But yeah, had a good premise. It was really fun. Just him trying to survive in this apocalypse with all these monsters. Yeah, pretty good film. 2021, Spider-Man No Way Home. From not caring about this movie at all to be my most anticipated movie, probably of one of my most anticipated movies of all time. Yeah, like it definitely doesn't disappoint, man. Oh my god, like wow, this is like a fan's dream. I mean, it's crazy that we got into the Spider-Verse, but then this, like wow, just there's no way you can truly describe this film. It's actually, it just for it to be actually real, it's just so good. And getting to see Toby and Andrew back, and actually making Andrew better than Toby, to show like how good he actually could have been. Even making people like go back and watch like the worst Spider-Man movie of all time, Amazing Spider-Man 2, because that had some great moments, but a lot of bad moments. But just how it makes some of the best moments from that film mean so much in this film, you know, with Gwen's death and stuff and everything he went through, and just hitting so hard when he saves MJ. Just oh my god, this is peak. My god. And it became one of my favourite Spider-Man films, top 3, easy. Yeah. And making Green Goblin better than he was in the original Sam Raimi film. Oh my god. Like man, when he killed Aunt May, and just that scene, that intense scene, which you know which scene I'm talking about. Oh my god. Peak, man. I mean, the only true flaws in this film is probably Doctor Strange, and not really doing much for the Lizard, because I actually enjoyed the Lizard in the 2012 film of Amazing Spider-Man, but he doesn't really get used that much. Yeah. But yeah, this movie's still like so good. Oh my god, get to see all these villains come back, and even making some of the crappy villains really good too, like Electro. Yeah. Such a good film. One of the best Spider-Man films, one of the best superhero films, one of my favourite movies. Just such a good film. And this came from Sony of all people. Crazy. Everything Everywhere All at Once. My favourite movie of 2022. Yeah. And so underrated. If you've never watched this, I highly recommend it. And I'm not even going to say anything about it, and I'm just going to end it here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed the video. What are your favourite movies of each year when you was born? But yeah, let me know down below. Appreciate if you can leave a like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.